To you, 10 a.m. Thank you to Tommy and the Breakfast Show. My name is Nihal, and this is the phone-in show with your voice paramount in my mind. Your texts, your tweets, your emails, your Facebook posts. That's what this show is all about. And today I want to talk to you about Shahzad Iqbal. Do you know him? He's from Bradford, and he has launched a petition to have a video made by Katy Perry, you know, the pop star Katy Perry, taken down from YouTube. And the reason that he wants it gone from his life is that there is a gentleman in the video wearing a necklace with the word Allah in Arabic on it. That man is disintegrated by Katy Perry's laser eyes. Shahzad Iqbal is offended. He feels it's blasphemous. Do you agree with him? Or is it a storm in a teacup? 81869 is the text number. Send me a text right now. Let's start talking about it after the news with Priyanka Deladia.
Got something to say? Then say it. Nihal on BBC Asian Network.
Thank you very much, Priyanka. 4 minutes past 10. Good morning. Welcome to the phone-in show. I'd like to know if you know Shahzad Iqbal. He lives in Bradford. He has launched a petition. The petition wants to have Katy Perry's new pop video taken down from YouTube. And the reason for this? What has offended Shahzad Iqbal and so many others so much? It is the fact that in this video, a man wears a chain. On that chain, in Arabic, it says the word Allah. The chain and he are disintegrated by Katy Perry's laser vision. He feels that that is blasphemous. Do you agree with him? Many have. Many have signed the petition. We're already getting texts in from people who have signed the petition. If you're one of those people, get in contact with us. 08459 440 445 is the number. Text me on 81869. This story is all over social media. Daily Mail Online have reported it. Does it make you roll your eyeballs and think, oh, not another Muslim story? Does it make you think this guy should be complaining about other things? Things such as Syria. He should be putting his energies to that, rather than making up these silly petitions about silly pop songs that most people don't really care about. Or do you believe he has a very good point? And that artists should understand religion and the sensitivities of those who follow that religion. They should understand that it will cause offence and do their research. Nobody is suggesting that this was done deliberately. But now that it's out there and the word Allah has been disintegrated in this pop video, do you agree with Shahzad Iqbal? He's in Bradford. If you're in Bradford and you know him, and just check that he is the one, by the way, if you are going to check, because I can imagine there's more than one Shahzad Iqbal in Bradford. We don't want, random bloke who runs the post office, Shahzad Iqbal, ringing in and going, what are you talking about? I don't know, I didn't do any petition. Not quite sure why he would have a Birmingham accent, but there you go. Do get in contact with us. 81869 on the text. Email Nihal at bbc.co.uk. And tell me, do you agree with the man who's launched an online petition against a Katy Perry video which he believes is blasphemous? And the reason he believes is blasphemous, because a man is wearing a chain with the word Allah in Arabic on it, and he is then disintegrated by Katy Perry's laser vision. It's surreal. It's also offensive to some people. Are you one such person who's taken great offence at this? Have you actually seen the video? Give me a text, 81869. Send me an email, nihal at bbc.co.uk. I want to hear what you think about this. I really do. Because, of course, there are many people who get in contact with this show who are constantly complaining about the fact that Muslims are always in the news for the wrong reasons. Is this for the right reason or for the wrong reason? Here's the phone number.
Call Nihal now on 08459.
Have you seen the Katy Perry video, The Dark Horse? What do you think about it? Were you watching it thinking, oh, she's quite fit? Or thinking, wow, Egyptian themed, amazing. That must have cost a lot of money. Or were you like Shahzad Iqbal from Bradford, who perhaps was going through it frame by frame, or has an eye that is so keen, quite frankly, he should be a keen ornithologist. Because he spotted, in one scene, a man wearing a chain. Upon that chain was the word Allah in Arabic. That man, I'm sorry I got this wrong, was disintegrated not by Katy Perry's laser eyes, but by her lightning fingers. Do apologise, got that wrong. Now, reason to be offended? Blasphemous? Or there are more serious things to worry about? The petition has already garnered tens of thousands of names. Are you one of those people? Tell me why you signed it. Did you watch the video first? Or were you just professionally offended by it? Let's speak to Shamsuddin Ahmed, who is a Muslim, a guest of mine. Shamsuddin, good morning.
Good morning to you, Nihal.
Do you understand why people are offended by this?
I certainly do. It's got all the ingredients to offend anybody, particularly anybody of the Muslim faith, because even the non-Muslim world is very much familiar with how special it is to a Muslim to have the name Allah written on anything, let alone on a necklace hanging around somebody's neck, and particularly in the circumstances that you describe. It's got all the ingredients to offend anyone of that particular faith, and it might even offend those who are not necessarily Muslim, because anybody who's sincere to their own faith would find anything offensive to any other faith that they do not necessarily prescribe to as offensive, because faith is something that is very special and personal to a person. And when you take elements of that and make it means of entertaining people, but in a derogatory way, which is exactly what appears to be the case here, it is blasphemous, it is offensive, it is provocative, and this is why you get the kind of reaction that is generated.
But it's only provocative by intention, isn't it? And do you honestly believe the intention was to wind up Muslims, that Katy Perry, her video director, her record company got together and said, how can we wind up Muslims?
I mean, sitting here, I can never judge the kind of mindset that would have triggered off such an idea. But it goes, without any shadow of a doubt, the people behind it would have known that it would cause a reaction from certain parts of the Muslim community, which is exactly what it's doing. So, to answer your question,
or it just looked Arabic and they didn't bother to do any research as to what it actually meant. It was just Arabic. It looked vaguely like it belonged in an Egyptian-themed video, which is what the video is.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's me giving it the benefit of the doubt. You're the other side of the argument, which is...
Well, you're right. I mean, I would recognise a symbol from the Sikh faith or the Hindu faith or Jewish faith or Christian faith, or some of the other minor faiths. So I think if that was a mitigating excuse, I think it's a fairly poor one on the part of people behind the idea.
All right. Okay. Let's speak to Sarah Elanani, who is a guest of mine. Sarah, hello.
Hey, how you doing? You all right?
I'm very well. Now, you're a Muslim. Are you offended by this pop video by Katy Perry?
No, but just to come back on that point quickly, I also work in the fashion industry, and the person who would have put that outfit together would have been a stylist, say. And how can I put this politely? Fashion people tend not to be very bright, so I don't think it was intentional. I'm kind of with you, Nihal, on this one. That I don't think it was intentional, not in the slightest. Second of all, I think that I can see why Muslims are offended, but if in the end, if someone does insult Islam, in the end, they're the ones that are going to go to hell, right? And it's like, it even says in the Quran, I'm innocent of what you do. Every person is responsible for what they do. No one is responsible for what someone else does. So even if someone wanted to do that, then, they have to deal with the consequences. It's got nothing to do with me. So everyone should be free to, even if it was intentional, I'm just kind of worst case scenario. I don't think it was intentional, but even if they did, then that's up to them as well. Like, we shouldn't be so sensitive. Like, who cares?
Right, Shamsuddin, we shouldn't be so sensitive. Who cares?
Well, there's something else I wanted to pick up on, which is that everybody's responsible for their own action. Therefore, it doesn't matter to me what somebody else does. With respect, I do.
Okay, we seem to have lost Shamsuddin there. Shamsuddin, we lost you there for that point. Let's go to Mohammed, who's in Nottingham and who's called in. Mohammed, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, my friend. Now, you find the video blasphemous. Now, Sarah, our guest on the show, she believes that we shouldn't be so sensitive about these things.
Well, I think she's wrong. It is offensive. Basically, that's out of order. You've got to respect any religion, whether it's Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, whatever. That's in every scripture in the books. And it just happens that the name Allah is written there. And imagine if a Muslim artist did that. Do you think the tabloids would pick it up and say, well, you know what, the terrorist and etc., why have they done that for the Christ name, etc., etc. So how comes it's always, targeting the Muslims?
But maybe Muslims are more sensitive than Christians, for instance, because if you look at a lot of rap videos, for instance, there are rappers wearing crucifixes encrusted with diamonds around their necks while they're by a swimming pool surrounded by women in bikinis. And you don't see lots of Christians trying to get petitions up to ban that, do you?
Yeah, but I mean, we, as you know, Muslims are sensitive, very sensitive, like, in a way. You have a cartoon, the Prophets, when the cartoons came out, that went all ballistic. Now this is coming out, this is going to go ballistic. And then, you've got the society saying, well, we want to work with Muslims and we want to patch things up, and then they start doing these sort of things and bringing videos out, and what's going to be next?
Sarah?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just, going back to the cartoons again, it's kind of very much a case of, well, if someone wants to say those things, then why should, I'm independent of what you do and what you think and what you feel and what you think of me and what you think of my religion. I'm independent of that. So why should I care? In the end, like I said, if you want to make those, if you want to kind of insult the religion, in the end, then that's up to you, and you are responsible for your actions. Like I am.
Sure, can I ask you something? You're saying that you're a Muslim, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
So when you pray, who do you pray to?
Okay, are we going to get religious? Because
we can't take religion out of this, unfortunately.
Question.
I pray to Allah. I pray to Allah. What's your point?
So this is the debate what we're having here. You pray to Allah. That scene, she got her eyes and whatever, and dismantled the word Allah. So you pray to Allah, and then you're saying to me, well, it's kind of all right, kind of thing. I don't really mind about it. Let's for example, let's give them the benefit of the doubt, and let's go back to say it was a stylist that just put this outfit together. That is sort of ignorant of the world.
Wait, let her finish. Let her finish, Mohammed. Let her finish, Sarah.
Okay, even in Islam, if you do something out of ignorance, then you are forgiven for it. It's only when you do something intentional that you are judged for it, right? So even as a Muslim, if I do something wrong and I'm ignorant...
Mohammed, wait.
Even if I do... I'm finished anyway.
My gosh, you really have to... fair play to Shahzad Iqbal. The video, it's not... It's very difficult to spot, I have to say. Fair play to him. But, okay, so, Mohammed, you think that the makers of this video, of this song, intentionally wish to blaspheme the name of Allah?
Well, now, there's 100 other religions there. How comes nobody else's name was there, put on there?
Well, because well, they got it wrong anyway. They got it massively wrong in the sense that, of course, the Egyptian... pharaohs predated Islam, so there wouldn't have been any reference to Allah anyway in an Egyptian context. But we are talking about a Katy Perry video, so let's not mix reality with it.
The shutters, the producers, they would have known that this might cause an upset.
Do you honestly think that they thought that?
No, you must have thought that they would probably know that this is going to cause an upset. Look at the cartoons, for instance. Obviously, when they did the cartoons, obviously, did you think that they didn't know that was going to cause an upset?
Okay, all right, Mohammed, thank you. Let's speak to Saif Rahman, who is a guest of mine, founder of the Humanist and Cultural Muslim Association and author of The Islamist Delusion. Saif, good morning.
Hi, Nihal.
Offended. 46,000 names on a petition. Do you agree with them that this is blasphemous? Do you agree with Mohammed from Nottingham that there must have been some intention here to wind up Muslims?
I mean, the way I see it is, I assume it would have been some prop girl who would have picked out this item of jewellery from a box, and I don't know whether it was done intentionally. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. They might have thought, it might help create, greater problems with the video. I mean, it has hit, I think, something like 6 million views at the minute, so it's certainly not done any damage.
No.
But the fact that, when I first came across this news, I tweeted about it, and I spent ages looking at the video trying to find this item of offence, and I couldn't find it.
No, I've been trying. I
eventually had to ask, in my group of people, where is this item? And they said it's like, 115. I went off, I still couldn't find it. It's literally, for about a millisecond, this particular clip comes up, and that's the only reason why I, wonder whether it wasn't done intentionally, because if they were trying to make a big deal out of it, they would have at least, shown it for a second.
So you don't see any intention in this?
No, I don't think so. It would, I can see that. I mean, I remember when they did a similar thing with the Salman Rushdie book, when hardly anybody would have read that book. But as soon as they created all the noise over it, he became a best-selling author. It doesn't really. I don't think it really works towards what they're intending to do, because all it does is they create greater infamacy and greater footprint of whatever particular thing somebody's trying to promote.
There's a Facebook post by someone called Essa_Alexander, and it says, in quotes, "Katy Perry has done this in her film! ! Boycott Katy Perry! ! Report her video to Facebook!" And then goes on to say, "Like, lads, seriously, you shouldn't even be listening to that shizzle dizzle. It's haram. How the hell do you know what's happening in her music video? Because you shouldn't." So if you're that, essentially the argument is, if you're that Muslim, you shouldn't be watching a Katy Perry music video in the first place.
Exactly.
Do you agree with that?
I mean, the particular guy who found this, as I understand it, he actually is the same person who actually managed to find this millisecond video clip, is the person who started the campaign. So I'm beginning more to wonder whether this is just a way of people promoting themselves. You suddenly, traipse the media world for something to offend, start up one of these campaigns, put your name at the front of it, and hey presto.
But why aren't you offended,
50,000 signatures, and job done.
But why don't you find it offensive?
I mean, it's all it is. I mean, initially when I came across this controversy, I thought it was just over the fact that she's wearing an Allah symbol. But, the Allah symbol is something that you can find in any jewellery shop among any Asian high street in the country and in the world. It's so popular that, and so many people wear it that you could always find something that subjects that particular person who's wearing it is doing. But it doesn't mean to say that it's blasphemous.
Okay, so thank you very much indeed. Ogling at Katy Perry videos doesn't seem very Islamic to me either. Shazam. So stop being a hypocrite and get a life. That's from Layla. Hi, my name's Imran. I have signed the petition against the video. It's disgusting. As the music industry has such a large following, it's highly influential, so burning the name of Allah is outrageous. Why do it in the first place? Islam is under attack by these terrorists. Nihal, Shazad needs to look at himself. First, everyone is not perfect, and I would say he's the type of person who makes a mountain out of a molehill. Please get a life. If we were all this sad, then God help us. Okay. Whereas Roxana from High Wycombe says, yes, he is right. I've not seen the video yet, but if it mentioned Allah, then it's definitely wrong. I'm with him. 81869 on the text, email nihal@bbc.co.uk. 26 minutes past 10, and I'd like to know from you, do you think a gentleman from Bradford, who we have not managed to track down yet, so if you know Shazad Iqbal, the guy who created this online petition, not Shazad Iqbal, your dad's mate, who runs a garage, fixing old Datsuns and Nissans near where you live, not that Shazad Iqbal, the one who actually got involved, got offended, felt that the Katy Perry video is blasphemous, and then decided to create this online petition, which has garnered some 46,000 names so far. And please, holler at Shazad, will you? And tell him that he needs to call the BBC Asian Network, because we'd love to speak to him about this. Also, if you've signed the petition, give me a call, 08459 440 445. We've heard from a Muslim who is not offended by this at all, feels there's more serious things to worry about in the world. We've also heard from someone who feels that this is blasphemous and that these people did this on purpose. Intentionally offended Muslims. Do you agree with that? Do you think that they did? Do you believe that it's mocking your religion if you're a Muslim? A texter just texted in to say that exact statement. Yes, it's mocking our religion. 08459 440 445 is the number. Or email nihal@bbc.co.uk or tweet me at BBC Asian Network. There's lots of ways to get in contact with us. It's 28 minutes past 10 now, so let's get a bit of music. It's quite interesting, actually. Naz on Twitter said, if Muslims fall silent on dirty women using Allah signs and names in their vulgar videos, it will be a slippery slope for more tarts to go ahead with it. Well, it doesn't sound particularly religious to describe women in that way, does it? Interesting. All right, let's speak to Karina, who got in contact with us. Hello, Karina.
Hi.
Now, it's the first time you got in contact with the show. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Why today?
I don't know. It's just listening to all these people talking about this video and everything on Facebook and stuff. It's just kind of got me a bit, I'm like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Why do you think there's nothing wrong with it?
I mean, I've seen all the hype on Facebook and WhatsApp and everything, so I thought I'd watch this video to see what it is about.
Did you spot it? Did you spot? Because I can't spot it.
I didn't spot it. I mean, I didn't even know what the video was all about until you said in the show that it's a guy wearing the necklace with Allah's name on it. And I was like, I had to double watch the video and I still couldn't spot it.
I haven't managed to spot it. So, okay, so on your Facebook and WhatsApp, are most people offended by it, or are people just going, we all need to calm down?
No, everyone's offended by it. And I'm thinking, why are you offended? There's a lot worse happening out there in the name of Islam and religion and, but nobody's bothered about that. And a little sign saying Allah gets burnt in a pop video and everyone's going off on one.
But can you understand why your friends are so offended at it, though? Because, Karina, if it is there, and clearly it is there, I mean, even the Daily Mail pointed it out online. I mean, I can't see it. I mean, fair play to Shazad Iqbal. He's got much better eyesight than you and I have, obviously. But if it is there, and it is the name of Allah, and it is disintegrated, then, I mean, you're a Muslim, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
But do you think they're overblowing this? Do you think they're just making too much of it?
Extremely overblowing it. It's all exaggerated. I mean, why get offended when there's people that are signing this petition that's going around that don't even pray 5 times a day, when in Islam it states, to be a good Muslim, you have to pray 5 times a day, read the Quran, etc. But, they don't do anything like that. I mean, they're going out clubbing every night, they have girlfriends, drinking, smoking, everything. But when something like this comes up, everyone starts going down the religious path.
Well, that's a very interesting point. That is a very interesting point. So they got offended by this, but the same people might be those who at the weekend go out and get drunk.
Exactly. I mean, for starters, in Islam, you're not even meant to be looking at other women. So why are these people that signing the petition watching this video where she's clearly wearing revealing clothes and doing things that are...
Well, Shazad Iqbal, he must have stopped the video, paused it quite a few times and gone through it frame by frame, I can imagine, to find it.
So, what's the whole situation there? I mean, he's clearly got enough time on his hands. Maybe he should go out and get a job.
Okay, well, we don't know whether he's working or not, Karina, but thank you very much indeed for that. Alicia in Birmingham said, as a Muslim, I have faith enough in my religion that some pop song isn't going to damage it. Some people need to grow up and practice the faith they're trying to defend. Muslims are overreacting. Allah is just an Arabic word for God, and if they're true believers, they would let God serve his own justice, according to Jay. Bismillah on our Facebook group said, we should concentrate on much more important things in this video. Yes, it is wrong to use God's name in a wrong form, but what about all these other things that us Muslims close our eyes to? It's a bloke that brought this issue up about the video. I wonder, does he stand up for the wrongs that us Muslim women go through, or us Muslim people? Or does he just pick and choose? Fatima said, sad thing about some people's comments is that they are saying concentrate on more important things. But what is more important than defending Allah? Not trying to have a go at anyone, this is just my opinion, but we should possibly think more before commenting. Sandy says, people wear all sorts of jewellery for all reasons, some for religious reasons and some for fashion purposes. The Om sign is worn, the cross is worn, and various other ones are worn frequently. Does it mean that people of a different faith are disrespecting these religions? No, it doesn't. Samra said, accidental, who are you kidding? And Shana said, this is so minor, really no big deal at all. The world has bigger fish to fry. Let's focus on bigger issues that are affecting us. Talat is in Stoke-on-Trent. Hello, Talat.
Hello, Nihal. How are you, bro? You right?
I'm all right, my friend. Thank you for calling in. 08459 440 445 is the number if you want to call in too. Talat, are you offended by this?
Well, offended, yeah, it's wrong. Do you know what I mean? It is wrong at the end of the day. Why do it? Do you know what I mean? It has no place in the song. You know, end of the day, my daughter told me about the song. You know what I mean? That they're doing this, they're burning Allah's necklace. You know what I mean? So I just think it has no place in the song. There's no need for it to be there, is it really? So that's what I don't understand. Yeah, Muslims should be offended by it, but doesn't mean you go out and start burning, you know, doing stupid things yourself. But yeah, we're Muslim, we should be offended by it because it's our Lord, it's our Creator. Do you know what I mean? So
should it be banned? This video?
Well, even if you say let it, ban it, it's not going to get banned, is it? Because it's just more publicity, really. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't make a difference what we say, really. I personally believe so. You know, they've done it on purpose. It's all the publicity done. They know Muslims are going to get, you know, offended by it. Let's do it. Do you know what I mean? So they don't really care. And Muslims know Islam's the right way. Islam's, you know, the truth. So people are going to try to, do things and say things to you that, you know, hurt Muslims. But we're strong. Muslims are strong. So, you know, we know the truth. We know Islam is right.
But if you're so strong, why are you getting offended by a Katy Perry pop video? Why are 46,000 people signing a petition? Why is Karina, who got in contact with us, all her pals on Facebook and WhatsApp, getting all outraged by it? If the religion's so strong, why are you getting worried about it?
Because it has no place in a song, has it really? It's like me playing cricket, then after hitting a six, I'll burn a Bible. There's no place in it. There's no need for me to do that. Do you know what I mean?
But you're intentionally burning a Bible, then knowing what it is. Now, you're making the assumption that Katy Perry's stylist, the video director, had any clue what that said. So you're assuming that they said, right, you know what, in order to get more publicity, because of course we know that Katy Perry needs more publicity, we're going to offend Muslims. I mean, genuinely, do you think that was part of their marketing strategy?
Who doesn't know about Islam nowadays? It's everywhere, do you know what I mean? People that you would...
Mate, go to the town in Essex where I grew up from and ask people about the difference between the Quran and the Hadiths and find out how far you get.
No, they'll know what a Quran is. They'll know what Allah is. They'll know the name of Allah.
But they won't recognise it in Arabic. I wouldn't recognise it in Arabic.
You can't say to me that there wasn't no one there who knows Arabic, or there was someone in the place where they did that.
Wait. Let's do a little straw test. Okay, there's 5 of us here in our studio, 4 on the other side of the glass. Any of you speak Arabic or understand or read Arabic? Okay, there's none of that. I mean, I know this is, but I'd say 100% of the people currently in this studio, 100%, 5 out of 5, do not. I mean, Talat, you're assuming that Ash is in West Midlands. Talat, stay there.
They've never seen the sign of Allah.
No, I wouldn't recognise it.
Allah in Arabic.
I've been doing this show for 7 years. I wouldn't recognise Allah in Arabic. But Talat, stay there for a second. Ash, Ash, good morning. Would you be able to understand, or would you be able to recognise the word Allah in Arabic?
Not confidently, but obviously having come across Islam in terms of, you know, through the education system, I might have a bit of an idea, but not conclusively. I mean...
But Talat's assumption is that we should all recognise the word Allah in Arabic.
I think I need to challenge Talat on his view anyway.
Why?
I think in a Western democracy, I mean, we have the right to express ourselves however we want. And religion shouldn't be above that.
No, you don't.
In fact,
no, you don't.
It should be,
wait a minute.
At the forefront of...
Ash, you don't. You don't have the right to express... You don't have the right to do hate speech. You don't have the right to be racist. You don't have those rights at all.
Yes, but in the fact religion is, on one level, one could put the thesis forward as something fictitious, and there's no proof that it exists. And on another level, I mean... Well,
there's a lot of proof to the people who follow it.
It is, I know, yeah.
Well, no, I'm a person of faith. I mean, I'm not going to mention my faith, but I do follow religion. But the thing is, sorry?
Why would you not mention your faith?
Well, I can if you want me to. I'm a Hindu.
So, yeah, what's wrong with that? There you go. That's fine.
Yeah, but...
Right. Go on, Ash.
What I'm saying is, I mean, I think it's our right to make offensive, humorous, or any type of comment about any religion without any fear. I mean, let's not forget there's many writers and artists.
Look at the furore around the underwear that had images of Hindu gods on it, and they were all withdrawn because Hindus got so annoyed by this.
Well, I, for one, wasn't offended. I actually had the pleasure of meeting M.F. Hussain, who was one of the greatest Indian artists who died recently, and he was under a lot of pressure in India for the Mother India painting he did. It depicted Hindu gods. And I think at the time you might have had a debate, and I rang in to support him. Now, the thing is, this is a serious matter. We need the ability to express ourselves in whatever manner about any subject. And to be honest, religion should be at the top of that list of people who we should be here to shoot down, to bring it down to reality. I mean, it shouldn't be on any pedestal. It's just another subject. And even academics who've researched, particularly like Islam, they're under fear. And if you look at it, I mean, there's Anyan Hersey, who wrote The Infidel. She's under the death threat. Salman Rushdie. There's an Indian Bengali writer who's...
well, here's an idea. Don't go around offending people on purpose, or at least...
We do have a right to express ourselves, and whether people find that offensive, that isn't our problem. They have to live with it.
All right, Talat, you have to live with it, Talat.
You don't do you? Why do people need to offend any religion? There's no need. All religions treat each religion
wait, Ash, let me finish.
Kindness. You know what I mean? Treat every religion with kindness and as human beings. You know what I mean?
But Talat, we're used to seeing religions themselves turn on each other and turn on other people. Look at what Boko Haram are doing in Nigeria.
No, I understand that. But
look what Syrian Muslims are doing to each other in Syria. I mean, we're seeing religious people slaughtering each other.
Of course, yeah, I know we are, but that's the thing that, you know, religion is doing that on itself. We don't need everyone else to, you know, do more things to just...
Oh, right, okay.
You know what I mean? We can all work it out. We can all work it out. We just don't need to offend each other.
I know Islam places great respect on the Prophet Jesus, but have you ever seen The Life of Brian, the Monty Python movie?
Bro, it's not a... I
assure you, if a movie was made on...
I think about those things, Monty Python, or these, you know...
these are the things that we fought hard for, these freedoms, to right to express ourselves. And I think it's a wonderful freedom, and we should express it without any fear. And I'm so glad that I live in England, the country where I can express myself. That doesn't mean that I don't respect people of faith. I have many Muslim friends, and they know my views very openly. And the thing is, we have the right to express ourselves.
Of course, yeah, but don't offend religion. You get me? There's no need. There's no need, I personally believe, especially in that song. There's no need to burn Allah sign.
Okay,
I'm looking at the picture now. There are 8 different necklaces that he's wearing, and only one of them has the symbol of Allah written in Arabic on it. I mean,
but Saif, what's your point with that?
My point here is that he wasn't actually, you know, it doesn't look like they were actually making a point. They weren't destroying the Allah sign. They were just destroying that particular, you know, person who was wearing it, and he happened to be wearing one necklace, which was one of, you know, at least 8 necklaces that he's wearing. You know, I begin to wonder whether these people are just professional grievance seekers rather than grievance takers.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay, all right, Talat, thank you. Kuram is on the line from Birmingham. Kuram, good morning.
Yes, bro.
How are you?
I'm all right, bro, to be honest, but I'm a bit angry about what's happening.
Why? Tell me, my friend.
Well, basically, yeah.
Can I ask you, Kuram, have you signed the petition, by the way?
I have signed it on Facebook, yeah.
Okay, cool. Tell me why.
Okay, basically, look, yeah, you know, it's Allah's name, and, you know, people shouldn't be burning that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, yeah, you know, I'm not really practicing Muslim myself, but, you know, I can obviously tell Allah's name from a mile off, and a lot of my friends can. I've got, you know, English friends that even understand Arabic and speak Arabic themselves. So I don't even know what's going on here. All it is, yeah, it's just Illuminati, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's all the Illuminati just messing the whole media up. That's all it is, man. And I agree with my brother Talat, man.
Do you think then purposefully that the people who made this video went out of their way to offend Muslims?
Yeah, of course. You know, it's happening all over the country, all over the world now. It's not even only this music video. There's many other music videos people need to watch and look at. you know, it's only probably this one that's gone big a bit. But, you know, there's a lot of music videos out there that people need to start watching and realising they need to stop doing what they're doing, man. Because if they carry on, people like me are going to start getting upset, and people like other people are going to start getting upset, and we don't like it. At the end of the day, we're peaceful Muslims. You know what I'm saying? Muslims are not bad people. We are very good people. You know what I'm saying? We've got probably the cleanest heart, and one of the biggest growing nations in the whole of UK and the world.
Right. Okay, but then shouldn't you, if you're so powerful, you're so big, and you're so growing, why are you getting so worried about a Katy Perry video? I mean, isn't there bigger things to worry about?
Because there is bigger things to worry about, but obviously now, it's offending us big time. Because obviously, it's not right. You get me? It's just not full on right. Because you know, it's burning the name of God. It's not like, you know, it's a big thing, bruv.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I mean, there's lots of people, 46,000, I believe, currently, who are offended by it. Ash, now that you've heard from a young British Muslim who is offended by it and articulated how he feels, have you changed your mind, Ash?
I haven't changed my mind. I mean, I can see the emotion coming across, which is understandable. You know, it's human nature to, you know, if something's special and dear to you, to feel emotional. I can understand that. But let's not forget, I've heard a lot of American rappers saying Allah, you know, in terms of just using it in their terminology. So do you take offence to that? No, I've seen that.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to think. I mean, there was that track, Kurum. Do you remember that track, Arab Money? We're getting Arab money. Yeah. Do you remember that? And people
I remember that. Yeah, when they said the kalma in it or something.
Exactly. There was, I think, a quote from the Quran.
Even Allah is used as slang as yes in like a lot of like, you know, like it's hip. I mean, it's not. They're not using it as a religious terminology.
Yeah, but in this music video, they clearly know what they're doing. That's all I gotta say. Well, they clearly know exactly what they're doing.
If you think, I mean, I think you know, Salman Rushdie knew what he was doing when he wrote his book. Ayaan Hirsi knew when she was writing her book. Theo Van Gogh, who was brutally murdered, knew what he was doing when he produced his artwork. We should be allowed to produce his works of art, or any critique, or any writing, and we should not be fearing death. Or I mean, you can criticise and you can put a counter argument, but there's a nasty, ugly underside to it, and it's coming across. Well, if we don't like what you're doing, we're going to kill you, and that's not acceptable. I mean, you know,
no one's asked for that. And Kurum, you don't know of anybody talking about violence, do you? Associated with this, do you?
Of course not. You know, violence is not, you know, tolerated. You know, obviously back, you know, when I was a kid and that, everyone used to mess about, but I'm a changed character now. I'm a reformed character myself. You know, but obviously, I don't want to, you know, big up violence or anything, but all I got to say, you know, the video was absolutely wrong, 100%, and I'm not with it.
Right, okay.
I'm not with this video.
Stay with us a minute, Kurum. Ash, stay with us as well. Roma is in Leicester and has just called in. 08459 440 445 is the number. You can also text me on 81869. Tell me what you think of this Katy Perry video. And alas, Shahzad Iqbal seems to have gone underground. Maybe he's going through other videos at the moment, so I can imagine a fairly time-consuming job. Roma is in Leicester. Roma, good morning.
Hi, Nihal. Yeah.
Are you offended by this video?
No, I'm not. I just think it's ridiculous. I'm listening to all these people who are saying that the jewellery is being burnt, the sign is being burnt, they're disrespecting Islam. If you watch the video, if you listen to the lyrics, it's very clear. She is a princess. She's gone to a foreign land, and all these men are trying to impress her with jewels, with certain food, and she's not impressed, so she tells them to stand. That's what she's doing, and the jewelry, the necklace is a part of part of the jewelry. It's not. They're not offending Islam, and it's there for like half a second. That's probably why you didn't see it, Nihal.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, Kurum, what do you say to Roma then? Roma, I take it you're a Muslim.
Yeah, I mean, one more thing, Nihal. I mean, my friend went to Dubai and she wanted to get a tattoo, and she went into this. She's Hindu, and she went into this tattoo parlor, and Allah, who was one of the tattoos, and she got this tattoo on her wrist, and she came back and she showed me.
I bet her parents were over the moon with that, weren't they?
I was not offended. I don't think her parents were offended either. You know, she said it looks nice, and so I got this tattoo done. Now, I'm not going to start. I'm a Muslim. I'm a practicing Muslim. I'm not going to start a petition for her to have her arm chopped off. I think that people are too sensitive. I think people just need to live and let live.
Kuram, are you too sensitive, bruv?
Well, I think my wife wants to get a word in. Is that all right, yeah?
Yeah. What's your wife's name?
Yeah. Okay, Afshan, Anisa.
Ashan?
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay. Well, I'm 50-50 on this at the moment because I think, in regards to the video, fair enough, everyone has their freedom of putting whatever they want in the music video. But coming across the symbol, I mean, as a big music person, Katy Perry, she should have looked into the symbol and thought, this is going to offend thousands of Muslims across the world. She should have put a second thought into it. It's like, I mean, if she'd put a cross or a kunda or something else into it, Sikhs, Christians would get offended. Okay.
There's other necklaces.
Wait, Roma.
Making a big issue out of it, okay, that's, you know, a bit out of proportion, but it is going to offend.
So did your husband has signed the... Sorry, what was your name again?
It's Afshan.
Afshan, Kuram, your husband has signed the petition on Facebook. You haven't.
Yeah.
Why haven't you?
I haven't, because I think the whole issue of doing a petition is not going to change, and I think the videos are not going to come off. I mean, it's just a matter of just like someone getting popular over a petition. But I actually do think the symbol is offensive.
Okay, Roma. Okay, Afshan, wait there, my darling. Roma.
It's not offensive. It's used as a piece of jewellery. You know, anyone can wear anything. You know, all these people that are coming on radio and saying it's offensive, if they see someone who's a non-Muslim wearing an Allahu necklace, what are they going to do? Seriously, what are they going to do? Are they going to go up to that person and start beating that person up?
No, I'm not.
You know, and when we were at school, we used to buy jewellery and we used to wear rosary because we just thought it was beads. We didn't know that, oh, this is a cross, this is rosary, this is something religious. When we were at school, our gang, our group, we used to wear different coloured rosary necklaces. And only when I got told off by my mum and dad, that's when I stopped wearing it. But it was just a fashion thing then. And this video is that. It's very fashionable. And if people watch it properly, they will know that symbol and that is not being burnt. She's turning the man into sand because she's an impressed, and she does that to all the men within the video.
Yeah, but isn't that the only religious symbol on?
And that
is the only. If she had symbols from Islam, you know, Sikhism, Christianity, every single religion, then you could kind of understand that, you know, it's from she's putting.
But it is an Egyptian-themed video.
Nihal, if you go back and if you watch the video, because I've watched the video now several times because of this, there is Chinese symbols, there's other religious symbols, they're all sort of cluttered together, but you can make out Allahu is not the only necklace there. There is other religions there.
Yeah, he's got about 8 or so necklaces on, hasn't he? Well, chains, I should say, not necklaces.
A lot of necklaces. The thing is...
Wait, you can't speak at the same time. So let Afshan speak. Afshan, go on.
Yeah, with the symbol, I mean, I think the Allahu symbol, that is the only symbol that is religious, whereas the others are more like, okay, cultural, Chinese and cultural. This is what I mean. So this is why there are many Muslims across the whole of UK which are getting offended, because maybe they're not as educated as others to ignore it. They see...
You're talking about your own husband there.
Oh my God, the burning our symbol. So it is a big offence. I mean, Allahu is everywhere. It is everywhere. I mean, I've been brought up in Smethwick in Birmingham.
Right.
And I mean, I've got friends of all cultures, and they, by far, if they had seen that symbol, they know what that symbol is. I mean... Katy Perry must have known, okay, I'm putting this symbol into my music video. Don't you think somebody would have looked at that symbol and thought, what is that symbol? Curiosity.
I must be ignorant. Afshan, I must be ignorant, because I honestly, I wouldn't recognise it.
I think it's good. I think it's integration. I think it's good. I think, you know, there was all this thing that we were talking, I'm a community activist, people were saying all the videos are black and white dancers, black and white. You know, there's no Asians in the videos. There's no religious people in the videos. They're not included. We're excluded. And then when they do include a religion or a religious symbol, this is the way they
but this is, this is included in the wrong way.
Why is it included in the wrong way?
We believe that music is not prohibited. I haven't actually watched the video, but I've been told, because I don't really listen to music.
Well, how do these people know then? Clearly they're listening to music and watching these videos.
Yes, because they're not maybe they're not as practicing as other Muslims, but they have knowledge that this symbol is Islamic. It is precious to us. So if they see it in a music video, they're going to get offended.
Right, okay, Karam and Roma, thank you very much indeed for that fascinating conversation that you two just had. 81869 on the text, 08459 440 445 is the phone number. Sorry, Afshan and Roma, and Karam as well, her husband, thank you very much. Husband and wife. 2 for the price of 1. Loving that. 08459 440 445 is the number. We are going to be discussing this after midday as well, so please do get in contact with us. I've just had this email coming from Mohammed from Manchester. He said, I've been listening to your debate, and to be honest, I want to ignore the entire notion, because we are better than this. However, you have mentioned this 3 times already, that the costume team or the people behind it might not have done it intentionally. Hence, I'm forced to send you this email. I'm sure you are in media and you know how such things work. Well, yes, I am probably in media. I'm presenting a radio show right now. This entire attire of the man was decided by the team. He was accessorised by them on purpose. That man did not wear that Allah necklace on his own, so they knew what it meant, and this is a deliberate act. There are no ifs and buts about it. Well, the thing is, there are ifs and buts about it, Mohammed, because you weren't there, you're not involved in the production of the video, so you actually have no idea what goes on. And having been around music business now for over 20 years, and been around stylists and been around video shoots, etc., I'm not sure that they're all 100% as culturally aware as you would like them to be. They put on a whole heap of chains on this man, and I'm not sure that they knew. It was written in some scrawly language they didn't understand, and they just thought, OK, well, that looks Middle Eastern, and it's a... I mean, the real absurdity of it in many ways is the fact that, of course, the time that they're talking about, because they call her Katy Patra, of course, making her Cleopatra, that whole time predated Islam. So there wouldn't have been any reference in that respect anyway, if you want to get really finicky about it. But there are ifs and buts around whether it was intentional or not. Quite big ones. Salah said, some Muslim callers are saying that these people that complain about it aren't praying 5 times a day, clubbing, they're having girlfriends. But a point I would like to make about this claim is that not everyone who has voted against this issue has seen the video or listened to music. Like my parents, yes, they pray 5 times a day, don't listen to music, and are devout Muslims. But when I mention the issue, they are angry and wanted to sign a petition. I'd love it if someone made a video in which the Bible is burnt, Sikhs are tortured, Hindu gods are urinated upon, Buddhists are beaten, and see if this causes controversy. More than like the person would get arrested. The makers of the video cannot plead ignorance in making this video. That is total rubbish. The actors in the video would have known what the sign meant. How, Sal? I mean, there is this huge assumption that all of us, which I have to say is a fairly arrogant assumption, that all of us will recognise Allah in Arabic. I mean, I don't think anyone in my family would. Not a single one of them. And I haven't got time, quite frankly, to ring all of them in Sri Lanka and find out. The first hour conversation that we had some 2 hours and 15 minutes ago, and that was around a Katy Perry pop music video. In said video, she is wearing... Actually, no, I tell a lie. She's not wearing. Someone is wearing a chain. On that chain, in Arabic, is the word Allah. The person, this man in question, gets disintegrated. She uses her magical Egyptian queen-like powers to turn him into a pillar of sand, which then, of course, just crumbles away. Blasphemous? Intentional? Or a mistake? And people should just calm down about it. Well, tens of thousands of people have signed a petition to try and get this video banned. Shaz in Edinburgh, good afternoon.
How you doing?
I'm very well, my friend. Thank you for agreeing to speak to us on the BBC Asia Network. Shaz, are you offended by this? Is it a storm in a teacup, or people should genuinely be offended by this?
Well, I don't know. I think maybe it's taken a little bit out of proportion.
Why?
I mean, to wear an Allah necklace is not haram or a sin, as to say, yeah? Now, yes. To wear it, if I go, for example, if I've got it on and I go to the toilet or I go to a club, that is wrong, yeah?
Right.
Now, obviously, they're wearing it in the video. Obviously, like I said, anybody can wear it. There's nothing wrong with it, but you got to respect. And now they're wearing it in a video where there's, singing, dancing, and legs, and whatever you want to call it. And that's obviously wrong. That's disrespectful, right? Now, that's disrespectful. Now, and what does she do? She disintegrates the guy, yeah? Yes. And he kind of, obviously, the necklace obviously disintegrates as well.
Yes.
So I would say she's probably done everybody a favour in that way, because one of the honourable ways to, for example, dispose of a scripture, a Quran or something like that. You don't just chuck it in the bin or chuck it here or there. You burn it and you put it in a flowing river. Do you understand?
Right, okay.
It's in the same way, you have all these, sometimes people, burning the Quran and all that, making a big deal. I don't see why they're making a big deal out of it. That's good. They're not, that's the way to dispose of the Quran. One of the ways to dispose of kind of burning it.
It sounds like rather a violent act, though, Shaz. Are you honestly saying, and I take it by your name, Shaz, that you are a Muslim, that burning the Quran would be an acceptable thing to do?
You're taking it out the wrong way. What I'm saying is now, for example, what I'm saying is to dispose of it in a way. You don't just, throw it. You can't just get something with Allah's name on it or something, just throw it away in the bin.
Right, I see what you mean.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Put it in a flowing river, or you can burn it, and put ashes in a flowing river.
Right.
That's a respectful way of, getting rid of, as to say, of a scripture or something else.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've got, as a Buddhist, if we go and have a blessing, Shaz, you have this thing called a pirit nula, which is a string that's tied around your wrist. Now, if we want to dispose of that, we have to hang it from a tree.
Right.
We can't just throw it away in a bin. I mean, it's disrespectful because it's blessed. So, essentially, you're saying the same thing. Shaz, thank you. Let's speak to Raj, who got in contact with us. Good afternoon, Raj.
Good afternoon, Nihal. Great show once again, as always.
Thanks, mate. We do try. The listening figures going up seems to say that we're doing something right, and people like you, most importantly, getting in contact with us. Now, Raj, what do you think, my friend? I mean, do you think this is a storm in a teacup, or do you believe that they are right to get this petition going on and be offended by this?
I think it's neither right nor wrong for people to be offended by this. What's important is how you approach it. And once again, our Muslim brothers and sisters, I think, are being used in order to promote and give publicity, to a pop video or anything, a book or a transcript or a cartoon figure. And I think what they should try and understand is not to rise to this. I'm a Hindu, and the underpinning principle of all the Vedic religions is karma. And my belief is this: if somebody does something intentionally to offend me, so misuses a Hindu symbol, then I'm very secure in my belief that they will get their comeuppance. They will get what's due to them. I don't need to resort to violence or to give them unnecessary media coverage. I mean, Salman Rushdie, as one of your earlier listeners pointed out, is a very, very good example of it. Who was he before he wrote the satanic verses? And now, because of the fatwa that was issued against him, unnecessarily, rather than taking a more sensible approach to objecting to his works, he's now one of the best paid authors around the world. Now he's a model and he's living the life of luxury. Why did he get that status?
To be fair, though, Raj, he also had 24-hour police guard, couldn't go places. In fact, most recently, I believe, a trip to India was cancelled because of the controversy around it. So he hasn't had it hasn't been a bundle of laughs for the fella, Raj.
But had you heard of him before the satanic verses?
Well, people had. I mean, he wasn't totally obscure. You're absolutely right. This put him on a stage he hadn't heard. Many more people, for perhaps the wrong reasons, knew about him after the satanic verses. So you've absolutely got a point there. Yes, absolutely got a point there.
Our symbols, Hindu symbols, have been misused for centuries. The swastika by Hitler. You'll remember this. The Om symbol by, I think it was either house music or acid music in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And people were taking drugs and wearing the Om symbol, and it was quite offensive. But, if somebody, you can take a sensible approach to this, and I think signing a petition is a sensible approach. But anything more than that, now this video now is going to get so much publicity because of objections raised, and you really are, giving the artist, if you want to call them that, a lot more publicity than if I wanted to become popular tomorrow. All I need to do is to write something negative about one of the popular religions, and I would be escalated to almost stardom overnight. There are risks that go along with that. So why rise to it? I mean, time and time again, we see our Muslim brothers and sisters being aggravated and channeling their anger through wrong methods. Stop doing it.
But you remember the Sikhs got annoyed when Jay Leno, an American chat show host, had a picture of the Golden Temple and not took the mickey out of the Golden Temple and what it symbolised, but took the mickey out of the fact there was a temple made of gold. I can't remember the context of the joke, but it was a joke, and people did get offended by that, didn't they?
Yeah. And recently in the States, I think it was, they wanted to issue some postage stamps with Hindu mythological figures on them. And, there was a protest, and there was not any demonstrations, but it was done in the right way, and they withdrew them.
Raj, do we have a right to be offensive, though? Do we have a right to offend? Because that's, of course, surely enshrined in freedom of speech, isn't it?
My belief is this: if I went out there intentionally to offend you, there's two ways I could deal with this. I can either be very secure in my belief as a Hindu and the underpinning principle of karma, and knowing that you will get what's due to you, if your intentions were bad, or I could come up to you and punch you in the face.
Yeah, I'd rather you didn't do that, actually, yeah.
Exactly. So, and then I'd be in the wrong, and then I would get what's due to me. So I think this doesn't exist with the Abrahamic religions as much as it does with the Vedic religions, and I think this is a key point, that we believe more so in the live and let live principle, and they will get what's due to them. If their intentions... I mean, this artist may not have been doing it with ill intentions towards the Muslims. Or he may have been. And that's an issue for him, really. And if he is, then he will get what's due to him, or she will get what's due to her.
Okay. Right.
And I'm very comfortable and very secure in my belief, knowing that karma will take care of things and will even it out. I don't see why people have to jump up and down too much over it. It's not actually done any harm to anybody. And like you said earlier, I think it's a very arrogant stance to think that everybody in the world will recognise the symbol or know it to be...
I wouldn't have a clue. I wouldn't.
Nor would I.
I wouldn't have a clue. And I apologise for my ignorance, but then in the same way,
same here.
I couldn't read the Guru Granth Sahib in its original language, and I wouldn't understand... if it was written in Punjabi, I wouldn't understand what Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji was. I wouldn't. And
I think what our Muslim brothers and sisters need to understand is that there's enough negative media out there already about them, without them having to draw attention to themselves.
But Raj, okay. But by that rationale, and this is the worrying part of this, is that because there is negative reporting of Islam and Muslims in the press, then does that mean that Muslims can't feel as though they can protest when someone is insulting them? Because if that's the case, then that's a very worrying precedent to set, isn't it? It's just saying, well, because you're being criticised so much, rightly or wrongly, predominantly wrongly, you cannot protest about anything. So that effectively gives bigots a free-for-all. It gives them carte blanche to insult Muslims as and when they want, and that can't be acceptable.
No, it's not acceptable, and I think they should stand up and they should raise their voices, but in a respectful, law-abiding way, which is the way that by far the majority of Muslims do raise their objections. And if they feel offended, then quite rightly they should raise their objections. But at the same time, acknowledge the fact that by raising your objections, first of all, the limelight's on you constantly anyway because you're Muslims. And secondly, you are giving these people who may have intentionally wanted to offend you that much more publicity. As I said, who was Salman Rushdie before Satanic Verses? Nobody, I certainly hadn't heard of it. And then there was all this burning of his pictures and of his books in the middle of Birmingham City Centre.
Iranian fatwa. But remember as well, I mean, from Sikh position, of course, that there were protests against a play, Eshti, in Birmingham, wasn't there? Quite vociferous protests against that. So clearly, people of all faiths do get annoyed when they feel as though their faith is being insulted. Raj, thank you very much indeed for that.
You're welcome.
Cheers,
Thanks.
mate. Nadia has got in contact on the text to say, just a question for the listeners. If they used a Hindu god or Guru Nanak in the video, in what way would the Hindus and Sikhs not be offended? I think they would. To be honest, I think the video has been done on purpose. Raz has said, I'm a Muslim. Muslims really do need to chill and stop taking things so seriously. We have bigger issues to address than keep taking every little insult so seriously. Tarek has said, being a Muslim, I must admit that we're becoming dramatic about little things. This Shahzad should sign a petition about the terrorists who kill women, men and children in the name of Allah and Islam. That's the true disintegration of the name of Allah and his Prophet and his believers. He should grow up, and so should all those people who are getting dramatic on this music video. Nasser is in Glasgow. Good afternoon, Nasser.
Hi, good afternoon to you, sir. How are we?
I'm very well, mate. What would you like to say, sir?
Just a couple of very small points. I don't usually phone into radio stations, etc. I was at an event, an Asian event last week. Where there was about 150 or so Pakistanis, Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs sitting there, and there was an Asian comedian, a stand-up comedy show. Right. And he was throwing so much obscenity towards Jesus Christ, and I seen all my Asian friends having a good laugh at it, and it was clear obscenity. It was actually blasphemous. And about 5 minutes later, I decided I didn't need to sit there, and I just walked away. My point is, you can take that obscenity about Jesus Christ. How do you decide that? How do you decide where to take the action and where not to take action? Because in my opinion, it all comes under one paragraph. Secondly, on the second part of that, is if you look at the actual video, what need was there for Katy to put that Allah there in the first place? It just can't be a mistake. It just can't be just let's decide it. It's got to be a deep thinking behind that too. So I think what I'm trying to stress here is that there is always these issues where the West society tries to pick up on little things to try either to get more publicity for their event or for whatever they're doing. And that has got to be debated also. And secondly, we can't just jump up and down because somebody has done that. And on the other half, we start laughing at other things. I mean, you may find there's a Muslim community having a laugh at some Hindu religion, and they have no issue with that. And you may have the Hindus laughing at the Islamic religion, and they would have no issue with that.
Mate, you only have to go to a cricket game between India and Pakistan and listen to a small group of individuals trading insults with each other. I mean, that happens at those cricket games. Nasser in Glasgow, thank you very much indeed, my friend. Lastly, just a couple of emails before I get to my next guest, who's sitting in front of me right now, the amazing artist Raj Singh Tatul. But before that, Salman said the reason some celebrities do such insulting and controversial videos is for the sake of cheap fame and publicity. They know very well that Allah is the name of God for Muslims, and to make a mockery and insulting their God isn't going to be ignored. Muslims take this seriously, and it's very sensitive for them. Similarly, we are not allowed to write about the Holocaust of Jews, and we respect that. In another example, Muslims in India don't slaughter cows on their Eid to respect Hindus and not to offend them. There should be a clear line drawn between freedom of speech and freedom to offend. Vipul has said this is completely blown out of proportion, making something out of nothing at all. They were just trying to show an Egyptian ambience, so costumes, etc. Had they shot the video in Varanasi, they would have shown people in dhotis with an Om sign. Why create a big thing about it? Regarding burning, well, I just saw the video and she's burning a lot of people, not God. Does this mean if I wear an Allah cross, Om, etc., I become invincible? No one can hurt me. It would be offending if the person in the video was drinking or doing something which Muslims don't consider good. That's from Vipul. All right, thank you very much indeed for that. It's 29 minutes past 12.